Hello everyone, and welcome to the best blog on earth. I'm your host, Riley Harris. This week, I wanted to talk to you about the maintenance and upkeep of living in a house. I'm sure some of you will understand what it's like with your living quarters or hovel or whatever you all live in. I'm not sure how aliens stash themselves. Maybe you're pure energy and you live in a battery. Who knows? Mutants, I just assume you all live in filth because you don't care. And I apologize if that's wrong. I live in a two-story house, as I mentioned previously, and cleaning a two-story house is a very tedious job. So much so that if I had enough money, I would hire a maid to do it. It's just me, and now I have to dust everything, and I have to, clean the walls and all that. And I suppose, honestly, I could just let it all go by the wayside, but ultimately, I have a lot of time on my hands. And because of that, I'll try to occupy it with various things, some of which I'll not discuss in this video. Cleaning is one of them. I was lucky enough to find some cleaning supplies under the sink, and yeah, started going to town. Now, I don't know what kind of method you all use, but I go from the top down. So start with the dusting. If any dust does fall on the floor, then I haven't already cleaned it. So after all that, I do the walls and the counters and then the floor, and henceforth. Complication arises because I'm not the most thorough person, and I can admit that. So, sometimes I'll miss a spot, or sometimes I won't plug in the vacuum. And to be honest, I probably shouldn't be using that vacuum lest it attract wild animals, but there's some things you just have to do. I mean, I think it just goes back to a time when I was living with my mom and my sister, and constantly told to clean your room. Yeah, my room was a real mess back in those days. Just because I was a kid and I had time to go outside and play, and why would I want to clean the room if I could play? Well, now I don't get to play anymore. Yeah. Now the outside is treacherous. Now the outside will get me killed. Although, to be honest, being from Australia, the outside will get you killed no matter what you do. So it's like the whole world has become Australia. So I didn't know that you were not supposed to use bleach on everything. Now some of the furniture has some different coloured spots. But if you ask me, it really adds something to the design of the material. And I don't think anyone can say that that is no longer clean. To be honest, I don't really like cleaning. I think it goes back to the time when me and my buddy Zeke were in school. We got into some trouble, as children are known to do. Our punishment was we had to clean the main hallway of the school. They gave us access to the janitor's closet, which they should not have done, and they kind of just left us on our own, unsupervised. I'm sure there was a lovely administrative assistant in the office, but the office had a door between us and the hall, so she didn't really have an eye on us. And we kind of just slacked off for about 90% of the time. So toward the end of that time, we decided we really needed to get this hallway done. We were supposed to use mops, but they had a buffing machine, and I don't know if you've seen one of those before, but it's one of those little round kind of lawnmowers for tile. So we broke that out and turned it on. Things didn't go well after that because neither of us knew how to use one of them. We assumed you just kind of pushed it along and it cleaned, and that's not exactly how that thing works. And it makes a lot of noise. So it was ping-ponging between the lockers and causing a lot of damage, and we got a lot of detention for that one. But we didn't have to clean anything after that because they didn't trust us. You know, not cleaning is a kind of way to fight the power, but the reality is I'm living by myself and I'm the last human alive on Earth, and I can either be a clean person or a dirty person, and that essentially makes all of humanity either a clean species or a dirty species. And I decided I wanted to be a clean species. So I have been putting forth the effort, and I am determined to take one for the team. So, as it turns out, Windex is not supposed to be used for every surface. The outside of the windows, they're still dirty because I'm not going out there, ever. I might in the future if I ever get a suit of armor to walk outside with. And I know what you're thinking, this guy's got to be the worst maid on Earth. Best maid on Earth. And that brings us to our Australian fact of the week. Australia is 3,700 kilometres from north to south.